Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part number 19 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776. And in today's episode, we're going to be finishing off the Banner of Njorn. Firstly, we're going to visit this house. What's the matter, chum? You're looking might pale there. Been working too hard? Hey, I know the feeling. Got just the thing that's called a stamina drink. When you're just plain worn out, gulp that little beauty and you'll be ready and raring to take to the field again. I'll give you this one as a free sample if you like it, and I'm sure you will. See about buying more at the vendor next door, eh? Oh, but best stock up while you can. Tara's the only other place that sells these. It's worth every coin for soldiers like you. Alright, so we get the first stamina drink in this game. And it's what removes fatigue. And it does this either through two means. Either you use it as a usable item, like a vulnerary, on your character, and you remove fatigue in the middle of the chapter, or you can just put it on your unit when you're going to deploy him, and he will just lose all his stamina. So I dare say that it is, in my humble opinion, a total waste of time for you to use the stamina drink in the middle of the chapter and waste a turn on that, rather than just using it in deployment, because fatigue doesn't do anything to you mid-chapter. It does literally nothing. So the only thing you're doing is wasting a turn, and if you have to use that unit for any amount of attacks or other things like that after you use the stamina drink, then you're adding fatigue back onto your unit. I don't understand why this is necessarily a mechanic, but I would have to say that, you know, it's not really that big a deal. I can bypass that being an issue, because what's it really and truly matter? Alright, so we're definitely going to be doing some good old arena. The vendor next door sells stamina drinks, and with that being in mind, I do plan on actually buying two of them. I think they're going to be the only two that I buy in this entire game. Now, considering that fatigue can be quite the troublesome mechanic at times, it would almost kind of seem weird that I am only going to buy two. But the reason is just because I plan on getting a whole bunch of stamina drinks otherwise. There are ways you can get stamina drinks from enemies. There are ways that you can get stamina drinks from recruitable units. And there's also ways you can get stamina drinks from a certain Gaiden that I'll be visiting. This specific Gaiden I don't care to visit when I'm doing my regular playthroughs most of the time. But it's, you know, it's not the biggest of deals to visit. Now, I don't have any room in Asbel's inventory, but this is what we have here. I've already bought torches last chapter, so I don't really need to worry about that. We're going to go right next to Fergus and heal him up. And we'll pretty much be doing arena. Yeah, he's literally already at capped magic and speed. So believe me when I tell you, you do not have to worry about early promotion ruining your units. We promoted Asbel only like 3 levels early. He was at, I think, level 17. Honestly, those 7 levels, had I promoted him at 10, would not have prevented him from having these stats at cap. It just wouldn't have. It's not that big a deal, in my humblest of opinions. Alright, so let's go ahead and attack with the Javelin. Save us a potential retaliation. And then we can go, what, right here? Let's put Callian next to her, just to trade her the short lance back. I did not mean to do that. Short lance, yes. And then we can put Robert there. Yeah, I think... Alright, she's not going to attack twice here. And she won't even accost because he has higher max HP than her. But that doesn't matter. We are going to go here and attack with Osian. Now, if I'm not mistaken, because he has a decent defense right now, he has 10 defense. Most of these units here only have around like 12 or so attack, and they have very low hits. They would all have to basically hit him in order for him to die. So I think we're pretty well safe here, which is good news. Fantastic news, even. Osian is going to get a decent amount of weapon experience points as well, and that is just due to the fact that he is going to be hitting them all with the sword. And everyone that attacks him at close range, he's just going to flat out KO. Which is pretty good. I have a bit of a strategy to allow Selfina to get some experience points here as well, which is going to be nice. And that guy might have been running away because he wasn't doing enough damage, or any damage for that matter, to Osian. Either that, or he could have the AI that is just coded to go straight for the escape route and not bother to attack. Yeah, that seems like a pretty dangerous situation there, but because of his attack speed and the rest of our unit's attack speed, there was no chance on Earth that he was going to be able to double any of our units. And because of that, none of them get one-rounded, so simple. Simple calculation work. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and finish off this Draco Knight here. Selfina got a very good, fair amount of experience points. We're also going to trade her the Iron Bow. And then we're just going to leave with all of our units that we don't need over here. So we only need Selfina, Osian, and Karen to defend the gate. Everybody else is a non-use case. We're not going to use them long-term. We're not going to use them short-term. So it really doesn't matter here. And Osian can just stay put and have a good time. Aside from that, we're also going to go ahead and do some more arena. Yes, 690 gold is pretty decent. I won't go above typically around 800 to 900 gold with Fergus, because the enemies just get too difficult in the promoted gauntlet of the arena, which is exactly what Fergus will have to deal with, but Finn doesn't have to deal with the promoted gauntlet as he is not promoted. Now with Finn, I typically won't go anything above like 900 to 1,000. Alright. Yep, 840 gold. That seems perfectly fine. Armored axe with a silver axe. Not that great, but we're okay anyhow. Luckily for us, all of our units have scrolls on them, so they don't have to worry about crits. That guy only had a 16 hit with a silver axe. Like, come on. He even had weapon triangle advantage. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you don't have to fear the arena. Just be careful about what level of money that you're willing to bet, because the higher you go, the obviously more incredible the enemies are going to be. And we can go here and heal up Leaf. And that's it for our turn. Osian is basically going to take out all the rest of the one-range units, and then the two-range units are going to find themselves a good old target in Selfina. I'm going to be putting her on the forest tile directly behind Osian, and they're just going to go after her. I might actually use the Vouge at some point just to clear out like the herd of useless enemies that we're not going to have to worry about anyhow. But for the time being, I think it's perfectly fine to just give Selfina some experience points while we are dealing with the arena. It's part of the reason why I gave her the Iron Bow. Robert is going to be ducking out next turn, and as you can see, Wrath is amazing. Osian is just an amazing, I mean literally an amazing unit. when it comes to 1-2 range, enemy phase tanking. Wrath is such a good skill. Just incredible. Alright. So we're going to continue on with the arena and hopefully get around 10,000 before this chapter is over. We're not going to be staying here too long because it's just better to beat these chapters sooner rather than later, in my humble opinion. Fergus is pulling his weight, getting some gold. I mean, he is a sellsword after all. He should be more than capable of doing that for our party. And yeah, that's okay. Actually, that's more than okay. A troubadour with an iron sword? Are you kidding? She probably... Okay, she doesn't even have, like, enough speed to double. So, that was wild. A free 2,000 gold, basically. And we can heal up here. We could even use Asbel for arena. I don't think it's necessary. We're definitely going to get the 10,000 gold by the time I would like to leave. It's only turn 7. We are probably going to be leaving around like turn 11 or 12. So it's really just not that big a deal. Robert, you can go ahead and disappear. And we'll equip the iron bow for the time being. Take this guy out with a short lance. Obviously, you don't want Karen within the range mounted of any of these units. It's one of the reasons why they have so many iron or so many bow users over here, is because they don't want you to just trivialize this chapter with Karen, which is a legitimate thing you could do. Now she has C rank in both swords and lances. Let's see, how much damage are these guys doing? 13, 15, 13. They all have around 60 to 70 hit. 10, that guy's not going to ever attack me. 50 hit. 47 avoid. So yes, if he was to be attacked by all of these units, he could potentially be KO'd. With that in mind, we're just going to use the Vulnerary to be safe. Now, Selfina should be perfectly fine because she is on an avoid tile that also gives 2 defense. So the forests give 20 avoid. She has 51 avoid right now. She has 8 defense. She almost has as much defense as Osian, and she's not going to be attacked by as many units. It's just not how that works. Especially because her accost doesn't really come into effect until she's probably promoted. I mean, it will come into effect at times, but it's going to be pretty lacking. Yep, and now Osian has 1 more defense, which is pretty nice. Not needed, but nice nonetheless. Alright, since we're over here anyway, we might as well go ahead and do some arena. Pegasus Knight with a silver lance. This could be a rough battle. I'm very thankful that the weapon triangle is not as dominant in this game as it is in games like Genealogy, because it allows for pretty much every type of weapon to be good, even axes. Imagine if weapon triangle was like 15%, 20% hit and avoid with like axes. What that would mean is that like axe units against any sword unit would just be pointless. You would be doing nothing. Yeah, so we're only going to be doing this a couple more turns because we're pretty well golden. We've got our experience points we need. We're going to finish off those enemies. I'm probably going to skip over the walking all the way back to the escape tile because why bother? It's pretty simple, especially because Oh my gosh. Wow, Finn. Everything but strength and magic. Please, keep it coming. Do you need that? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to be upset about that. All right, so let's heal up Finn. Yep, that's a full heal from Asbel because he has a ton of magic. Unfortunately, Nana is not as potent with her magic. Let's go ahead and attack you. That's pretty cool that we got him down low, but didn't KO him. And we can move over here and finish off you. I don't think any one of these guys have vulneraries, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that was an okay level, but it's not really that great. Yeah, none of these guys have vulneraries left. We'll probably do like another turn of them going ahead and attacking Selphina, but other than that, we're going to most likely be putting on the Vouge. We'll probably put on the Vouge next turn, actually, because 2 units will be able to attack Selphina. Yeah, I think that sounds perfectly fine. This gives her bow rank as well, but in all honesty, she doesn't really need to hit A rank in bows, because B rank is the most coveted rank. They give her B rank, I believe, just because they want it basically to seem as if the Brave Bow is her personal weapon. And I don't mind that. Alright, let's finish up Arena for this turn. After this turn, we're going to be running straight forward to the escape tile. Alright, Fergus taking out that general. I actually like how the general's animations look, because even though they only just smack downward with the sword, it's not really the attack of the sword that I think is cool. It's more or less like the way that the cape flows. I love their capes, especially the Barons. The Barons look so good in this game. So incredibly good. Alright, this is going to be our last arena battle for this chapter. So we basically came into this chapter with 13,000 gold, spent 10,000, and we gained about 7,000, so we're back to 10,000 gold, which is pretty good. Well, 11,000 gold, pretty good. I would say that we're pretty ahead in that case. And one thing I do for clarity's sake and my own memory is I always like rescuing Leaf with a unit. Now, technically, Nana is not faster than Leaf, so I won't be doing that. I think Fergus might actually be the only unit faster than Leaf at this current moment, so I'm not going to bother rescuing him right now. I will rescue Asbel because he only has 7 movement. So I typically, whenever I do that, like for instance in previous chapters, I always rescue Leaf with the same unit all the time. So Nana is the unit that I always rescue him with. Let's attack you. And let's attack you. And let's trade over the Vouge. And let's attack you. Actually, we double you, so... Are we KOing with this? That's 9 times 2? Oh, actually, we are. We don't even need the crits. That's cool. Selphina showing off some good old-fashioned bows. I say that almost reluctantly, because the bows in Fire Emblem are almost notoriously bad. Like, she's got a pretty good set of skills and her bow use, but it's like I would dare say, even with how good Selfina can become, she's still not what I would call like a fantastic unit. I just personally love using her because of her toolkit. And I think we're going to go ahead and cut this out. I'll be seeing you guys in a moment. All right, and with all of that being done in this chapter, the arena, the visiting of the houses, the taking out of that entire army by Osian, what a unit, we're going to go ahead and escape. Dorius.
Prince Leaf, to be able to see you safe and healthy after all these years. You've grown into quite the splendid young man.
Whatever I've accomplished, I owe to you and Finn. Without your sacrifices, I never could have come as far as I have.
Oh, this is most unbecoming. Confound it. I suppose I've become easier to move to tears in my old age.
Duke Dorius, I think you've earned. Your arm. Don't tell me you...
Oh, this? Bah! It's but a trifle. I grew careless during the battle for Ulster. The disgrace is mine alone to bear.
At Ulster? Then it was for the sake of ensuring my escape. Damn it! Is that what it always comes down to? How many more people have to sacrifice themselves just to save me? How many? Even you, Dorius. All for me.
Ha! Don't let this, of all things, weigh heavily upon your heart, Prince Leaf. Even supposing I wasn't injured, an old dotard like me would hardly be of any use to you now. Let us not allow our minds to linger on past wounds. We've much work to do yet. I understand you wish to aid Tara. I mean to do the same, but we've precious little time to act. I've sent Glade ahead to the city. We've gotten word back from him, and he reports that the Empire means to mount an all-out assault against Tara perilously soon. With you and your forces here, every brave soul in Thracia now stands assembled beneath the banner of Njorn. The reborn kingdom of Leonster must be unleashed upon the front lines, starting with the Thracian soldiers amassed outside.
Regarding that, the Thracian troops seem to have ceased attacking. Most curious. Outright suspicious, even. Maybe it's because they're all dead.
I'll start coming up with a plan. Give me a moment to get a better look at this strange state of affairs, Prince Leaf.
Leaf's man was right. They have indeed called off their attack. But why?
Who in the blazes is that? That Draco Knight. A woman, by the look of it. What's she saying to the Thracian troops? Some kind of declaration?
All soldiers of Thracia, heed me. This is your princess, Eltenna. I bring word from General Hannibal himself. The men in that villa are not bandits. They are a mercenary unit that the general has stationed there to protect this area from bandits. Sheath your swords. Withdraw at once.
Oh, that's that. She was talking to nobody. The forces of the Friana Freeblades, the Magi, and the remnants of Leonster's nobility, though but strangers to one another, had rallied behind their common cause. They quickly cohered into a formidable fighting unit, and became a new army all their own, the Liberation Army. The time was finally right to head for Tara and break the siege upon the city. The Liberation Army made their way to the Imperial Thracian border, which they would cross through Noel Valley, a small gap in the otherwise impassable mountain range. Noel Valley. This is an incredibly infamous chapter, and the reason being is because it's actually kind of super difficult. And I mean, I'll probably have an easy way to just blast through it, so because I've done the strategy for this chapter a bunch of times. I'm not saying that I'm exactly going to make this like an easy show of force here, but okay, let's go ahead and give the Hazul scroll, the Huar scroll actually, over to Nana. I've played this a lot of times. I've had some pretty good practice. In my practice run of this chapter and this game specifically, I had pretty well no issues with it. We do want to give Laura some scrolls. She's not going to need her lockpicks, so that's nice. The Balder scroll can also go to Laura. The only scroll I'm planning on keeping on a character is Leaf can keep the odd scroll because he actually has very terrible skill right now. Let's trade this scroll as well. And we're also going to give the supply that physics staff. We're going to need that probably later. Wonderful that we have received it. Wonderful, as to be expected. We're going to grab our Master Seal. Where the heck are you? Master Seal, I know you're on somebody. Selfina? Ah, yes, Selfina. Perfect. So Selfina is not going to be seeing a promotion anytime soon, because actually besides Laura, I would say Nana is next up for promotion. Let's go ahead and trade Laura. Let's keep a scroll on... I almost want to keep both of these scrolls on Nana, so let's see. I actually think it's just a good idea to trade both of them over to Laura. And we can put that vulnerary right there. She's not going to need a lockpick. She's also not going to need to be able to steal, so that's okay. But she is going to want to give her iron sword and take the Paragon sword. Let's go ahead and trade. Get that on the top of our inventory. That looks perfect to me. So now she has +5 defense and the Paragon skill from the weapon skill. Doubles experience points gained by the user. We're going to be giving her a lot of levels this chapter. Now she does have 5 scrolls, but I'm halfway tempted to give a scroll over to Lithus. Maybe Leafs? Actually, you know what? We're going to do that for now. Only reason being is because Lithus is going to potentially face some criticals later on in this chapter, and we don't want him to face that. Supply, we have tons of bows that we can throw. Well, not tons, but we have some bows we can throw on you. Vulnerary even. We're going to be seeing some old units coming into the fray. One of the reasons why I also don't think you should buy weapons is look at what we've just received. We received a bunch of lances and swords through the obtaining of these several units. Do we have anything worth or that we need to sell? Meteor for sure. Devil Axe also for sure. And I think that's good. Neither one of them are going to yield much of anything, but it's okay. Selfina, what do we want to give you? Yeah, she's got a very good luck growth, so that luck ring is not useful on her either. Alright, Fergus needs his Armor Slayer. He's got it. And I think that's everything there. We're just going to pick our units for deploy. Osian, you're fatigued. I think we're going to need him for this chapter. Tanya Dagdar. We can bring Selfina, but I don't think she's going to be any useful. Osian needs to join the fray, so I think we're going to give him... Where'd you go? Right there. We're going to give him one of our coveted stamina drinks. He needs to join the fray because of what we're going to need him to do later on in this chapter. And deploy. Let's bring out Osian. And let's save. We're going to also go ahead into the map. We have to make sure that we have this pretty well planned out, right? There we go. Karen can go there. Osian, you can stay back here. Lithis can also stay back here, actually. Tanya, you can stay over there. Alright, so I think, other than that, we're going to want Finn here. Maybe we can put Dagdar here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Laura has, I don't think, enough defense. No. Unless she is on the fort, she can't survive a hit from this guy. We need to put her on the fort pretty soon. So if she's right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, that's not going to work. We're just going to have to wait for the next turn. Especially because we have to deal with this guy first. We could put him in range, put her in range of him. 23 attack, plus 7. No, that's not useful. All right, so with that being said, I think we have deployed everybody correctly. And though I would love to start this chapter, Noel Valley is one of my favorites. It's also one of the more difficult chapters in the early game, early to mid-game. We're technically on mid-game. I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to bid our farewells. Thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.